Welcome back, everybody, to SSL Challenge here at the Nexon Arena. We're about to jump into our third matchup of the game, of the night. It is going to be TY versus Bunney, not the aforementioned Bunney that I accidentally brought into the studio.
I got really excited their names could be combined easily, but
well, it could just be Tunny or Tiunny. T-Yunny.
Bunty.
Bunty. Bunty.
No, that's the thing that cakes are. Bunty.
Bunty?
Yeah. Have you never seen a cake that's just really bunty? It's, you know, a circle with a hole in the middle. You never have a bunt cake?
What?
You've never had a bunt cake?
I thought you were joking, but now you're very serious about this.
No. Like
I thought it was like a nickname you would give to the guy in your baseball team that bunts. Oh, that's Bunty over there. He's got to go up.
There's a silent D. It's like B-U-N-D-T. Dark Templar. Yeah, it's called a bunt cake. It's like a circle with a hole in the middle. If you've ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding,
I have seen that.
Yeah, they have the.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a name for it though. But
it's a kick. All right. Yeah. So now that I've moved my microphone, this is the actual challenge to the SSL challenge. Is how far away from my mic can I put my mouth?
You're making the sound guy really happy right now.
It's like, no, he's trying to adjust the buttons. He can't do it fast enough. Too fast for him, Brendan. B Dragon. God damn. Keep messing that up. One of these days.
Someday, yeah. I mean, we have so many other days of the year for you to get on this. So
there are so many days of the year. I can only choose one. I choose 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually just the second day of our broadcast. Have you ever seen that skit? Oh my God,
no.
it's so funny. On our fifth,
I'm like, guys, he's officially gone crazy.
On our fifth broadcast, it'll be a
cast.
lot more funny. Trust me on that one. Okay. This is only our second day of the broadcast.
I'm waiting for it. Yeah.
So.
And my first day actually.
Oh, that is
still
true.
Challenge.
Yep.
Wolf did show his face. He's doing premiere on Mondays.
That is very true.
So
also, a little bit of
around.
an update. I mentioned the achievements that we have for our. For our players, those are only for Premier. So you have to get promoted from Challenge to Premier in order to get those.
Yeah, you got to go through the fast lane, you know? You got to go to SSL Premier, man.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Through
it's
the
called
fast
lane. I keep calling it like fast track.
Well, I called it fast track.
Okay.
And then you're like, no, it's fast lane. And now you're the one that's confused. So it's okay.
All right, guys. So these are our next two players coming up. You should see that on your screen in just a second. It's going to be TY versus Bunney, whose names we will not try to combine here. And yeah, for TY, he has just been a TVT monster from winning the WESG finals that you were there for, Brendan. You got.
I actually have that shirt on right now.
Which one? The
WESG shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got that on underneath all of this fancy schmancy stuff that I've got on.
Well, TY really just showcased how good he is at TVT by taking out Maru in those finals. Since then, he has run through the Intel Extreme Masters Global Finals. We're almost just as dominant versus Terrans. I think he took out guys like Alive there, who he was able to get revenge on him there. But a lot of the games that he has played TVT have been very close series, either 2-1s or 3-2s. So it's not like he is just the best at Terran versus Terran. It's that he always wins in the end. So, I mean, it doesn't matter how clean your victory is as long as, you're the guy walking away with the prize money at the end. And to be fair, both players will walk away with prize money. It's just one guy gets a lot more.
Yeah, it's very true. So I think TY should take this one. I mean, Bunney, he's one of the players in Challenge where I'm like, yeah, I mean, I understand why this guy is in Challenge and not in Premier. And even a little bit surprised that, after, a lot of the teams going away, Bunney kind of sticking around and doing as well as he is, making it into Challenge. We'll see if he does make it to the fast lane.
Yeah, I think Bunney was one of the big surprises for me. 'Cause he fares pretty well in online leagues a lot of times, but his versus Terran matchup, I think this is one of the things that was highlighted in the Team Liquid preview article. It's just not that great versus Terrans, and when you compare him to Korean Terrans only, it gets even worse. It's like 45% or something like that, and that's when you start to get into the yikes range of now he's going to be playing
the yikes range. Oh
boy,
yeah. What's underneath the yikes range?
There's no coming back, man. Once you're there, it's really rough to get out, especially when you're facing off against this guy. He might say hello to you at the beginning of the game. He's gonna say goodbye at the end. That's not as menacing as I thought it was gonna be. He unfortunately is not, he just has not gotten a win yet in Challenge after dropping 2-1 to Classic. I don't know if we're really gonna be seeing too many battle cruisers this time around. I think it's time for hardcore mode. TY, very, very strong, especially when it comes to facing off against other Terrans like his opponent here tonight.
I would expect a Shrekkening here. I'll be totally honest up front with this one. I think it's going to be pretty one-sided, but it's always fun to see TY playing in TVTs or just games in general. And as you said, I wouldn't expect battle cruisers this time, but you never know. I mean, maybe this guy is practicing some new stuff around this time.
What we need to see is Jin Air make a Jin Air plane that also looks like a battle cruiser.
Oh, yeah.
I would fly that every single time. Oh my god. Well, Bunney is the other player besides Gumiho that we have not gotten a chance to see in Challenge just yet. He's currently winless, and that may possibly persist after going up against his opponent here tonight. Now, one thing that Bunney does do well are Reaper shenanigans. So if there is a way for him to come out of this game on top, I would expect to see some wacky games out of that, either like super crazy proxy raxes or some way to catch his opponent off guard. Because I mean, you just don't go into games versus TY thinking, well, if I just play a long macro game, I'll just come out. That's just not the mindset that gets you out of games alive.
Well,
so.
You say that, but then there is the times where the players, like in Pro League, this used to happen all the time, where it's like, back in the day, it used to be something like Zest versus Pet or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Pet would come out and he's like, I'm going to own this guy in a macro game in a best of one for Pro League. And me and Wolf are just sitting there like, what is going on? You know, like, why is this guy doing this? And I mean, I understand, you know, you want to look good on camera. You don't want to be that guy that comes in and cheeses all the time, right? And it's like, want to like lose with pride in a way. Also, you're getting a lot of good practice if you are playing against TY, so there are arguments against it, but it's like, especially when there was a game on the line and it's like, it's all up to Pet. You know, he's got to win this one game, and then he's just like, I'm just going to not do anything crazy. Those are the times where I was a little bit disappointed.
Well, we will be getting into our first game in our third series on our second day of SSL Challenger here in just a second. If you guys are fans of TY or fans of his opponent Bunney, or a fan of, I guess, Bunney's on Dust Gaming now, and TY is currently teamless. If you guys are a team out there and you want to pick up, oh, by the way, just like one of the best Terrans out there right now, TY is available.
He's probably on the market.
And taking your calls. His Twitter is actually still KT Rollster TY. So maybe he'll need to change that. Maybe it's just like wishful thinking. It's like, hey, maybe they'll just take it back.
You know.
I don't know. But definitely get out there, send your love to the players, to their teams. And if you have predictions for tonight's game, send them to us at RapidCasting and at Brendan Valdez on Twitter. And, of course, use the hashtag SSL. Whether or not you want to tweet to us about tonight's games or you're just a big fan of secure socket layer programming, both of those require that hashtag, so get out there and let us know what you think.
Or if you just want to tell us what you ate for lunch today, if it was salmon, big bonus. So you can let us know about that. That was one of the other IDs that I kind of had and still kind of have, spicy salmon.
You know, that's really.
I don't think you ever joined Team Salmon.
I never
because you
joined
never wore the gear.
Never had that gear there. Well, here are here's the gear that our players are going to be using. Looks like I can't actually see. I know by the green on the headphone or the earbuds, those are probably Razer, but I can't tell really what else the gear is there. But both players are gearing up for our first game in this series. TY versus Bunney. Starting right now. Oh my god.
Whoa, that was really good. Right as the plane takes off. Well,
give myself a little golf clap there. Fly better fly. Let's go ahead and get into this game.
Yeah, up in the top left here on Whirlwind, it is TY. He's saying hello out there to all you team owners.
Annyeong. His opponent in the blue. This is Bunney. Well, that's a command center. This is Bunney. I got a chance to meet a representative from Dust Gaming who came out to GSL the other day, and he actually gave me my own Dust Gaming shirt with my at Rapid Casting on the back. Big shout out to Dust for that. But that is the only favoritism you'll get in this broadcast. You can't buy me Dust Gaming, man. But for Bunney, it should be a little bit of an uphill battle here. TY is super strong. That's sort of the storyline we have going into this game. But the reason that we play these games, B-Dragon, is to see who will come out on top in the end. This is Whirlwind. It is a super big map, so unless you really, really, really just want to try for those proxy racks, this should lend itself towards longer, more macro games.
Yeah, at least these guys aren't at cross spawns. That would make it even longer. And you could see pretty similar builds so far. Well, actually, exact same builds coming out from both of these players. Although Bunney did go for a scout. He's actually going to cross spawns here first. And TY just didn't scout at all, which is kind of funny. Generally, if you feel like you're the better player, you want to go for the scout just to make sure nothing crazy is going on. But TY, I mean, he's like the master at holding all-ins. So maybe he's just like, forget about it. I'll just get away with it.
I've seen TY hold some bases that he just like should never in any world be able to keep in control of. But in this case, he is going to get that command center up a little bit faster. At least if I was looking at it correctly. Actually, no, he's a little bit slower on that. Sorry, the bars are like just seconds apart. So either way, he will have one more SCV mining, and now he's going to have one more SCV alive. I mean, we'll get in there and scout the command center, so mission accomplished there for you, SCV, but will that one SCV make the difference, B-Dragon?
Well, he did get a scout on where TY is, too. So that's pretty nice. I don't think TY has any idea just yet.
Well, TY is actually going to be scouting with his Reaper, which should be a little bit more mobile than that SCV. And he is going to scout the correct direction, so a little bit better, what do you call that, tracking systems there. Oh, actually, he does take the first hit there from the Reaper, so we'll have to run away. Oh,
he's not going to make it out.
Wow, all right, so Bunney coming out on top in that better Reaper control.
Striking back.
Indeed, he is. Bunney also with over 500 APM for the majority of this early game. That's some pretty fast spamming. Big fan of that. That is my true victory when I play StarCraft games. Even if I do lose, I'm like, well, I just had the fastest APM that game. Even if I'm not really doing anything.
I was so fast at my spam.
Yeah.
That I lost that game.
Unfortunately, yeah, that is not quite the road to victory. So. We'll get a chance to see maybe some deviations here for both players. Cyclone coming out for Bunney, whereas TY just going into standard tanks on the ground, Vikings in the air. Still no air production for Bunney just yet.
Yeah, I like him to play here from TY a little bit better. I think Bunney definitely mixing up a little bit. We'll see what work he can get done with this first drop coming out.
It did go dropship first, whereas TY went Viking first, and he'll have that Viking on patrol, ready and waiting for this dropship to come through. Now, dropship just barely able to skirt just around the edges. We'll run into this pack of Marines, boosting on through. Gonna get the Widowmine to drop right next to the tank. Will it burrow in time? No.
Oh, man. Gonna lose that Widowmine, and the tank does survive. But at least Bunney does get away with all of the Marines. So should be pretty happy about that, but definitely liking the position now for TY a bit better. He has that Raven coming out. We have Bio here for Bunney, going just straight into Stim first, and finally getting those tanks on the way.
Yeah, so you always have to kind of ask yourself, well, why is Bunney going for Stim here instead of going for more of like a mech-centric play, which traditionally is, you know, kind of what matters more. I mean, you need your buffer zone up in the front with the Marines, but it's always just nice to have a billion tanks behind them for fire support. Well, actually, the first shot from Bunney's Viking means that TY's will have to be the one that runs away. No.
What was that? That was so mean.
He was like, what if I just drop this one Marine off and boost it out? Like, no, screw you specifically, Marine. That guy's like tried to start a mutiny and like...
we got to drop this guy off the ship right now.
That's the Jonah Marine.
He's got to get off the ship. He's causing a ruckus. You were talking about battle cruisers in the sky instead of planes. Have you watched that new series, The Expanse? I
have. Yeah, they basically have battle cruisers.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes today. As it feels like I basically had a full day before my cast because this starts at 10 p.m. KST. So I did a lot of things, and watching 2 episodes of The Expanse was one of them, and it's pretty good. I like it.
The Expanse reminds me a lot of like StarCraft crossed with like a Firefly a little bit. Reminds me a lot of Firefly. It's actually based on a book series. Did you know?
Yeah, it says it in the intro. That's the only reason I knew.
Oh, I don't actually read the intro, but I do read the books. So I was like, wait a second, have I seen this before? And I was like, well, no, it's actually just those books. But yeah, renewed for a 2nd season, which is going on right now.
Cool.
Big fan.
So, speaking of battle cruisers, we haven't seen it so far, but
I mean, if there's one guy that's going to bust out the BCs, it's going to be TY. Already showcased it. Of course, that was in a TVP. Probably not going to see that in TVTs. And now we are starting to see the upgrades even out just a little bit. TY getting all of his coming up, and go for a sensor tower just to make sure he'll see anything coming that Bunney has on its way.
And here comes the SCV. We'll actually scout exactly where the army of Bunney is. That was the sacrifice of TY. Bunney already gave his sacrifice over, so just 1 for 1 here.
Our Dark Lords will be appeased by the SCV sacrifices that we've given them. Double Raven out there for TY. He's managed to hold both of those, keep them alive, and he will scan to scout the 3rd base coming up for Bunney. That's a little bit ahead of schedule, and so now it's on Bunney to keep enough pressure out there on the map to gain this economic advantage and hold on through it until it is able to kick in.
Yeah, the thing about TY is I think he got that orbital first, but he just didn't send it out and land it. So definitely Bunney getting a bit of a lead there, already maynarding his probes on over, or his SCVs.
Yeah, TY actually doesn't have stims, so he wasn't able to just immediately pick off that Cyclone. Unfortunately, Cyclones and corners are mortal enemies, Brendan. Beat Dragon. I keep forgetting. I'm so bad.
It's okay, it's okay. It's the first day. As I said, lots of time to get used to this.
All right. Well, either way, Bunney has gotten that 3rd base up and running and has pushed out onto the map. All he has to do right now is make sure he doesn't run into TY's tanks. And 1 sacrificial Marine. We'll see the rest of the army. When scans going off, TY will be more than aware of exactly what is out there.
Curious to see how those 2 drops will do. It looks like there is something in the way, but TY is going all the way down to the bottom of the map before he heads on over. Let's take a look. There's a Marine, so he will spot this. He should be able to react in time.
The Viking not in
and he's actually moving out.
Stop that. Yeah, this is not the direction your forces need to go. He does have a missile turret in the way, but that's not going to be enough to kill off both of these dropships. Now double drops in the back of Bunney's base.
Oh, this is going to get a lot of damage done. 9 SCVs, and at the same time, TY moving out on the map. The master of multi-pronged attacks. He's looking for one right now.
Going to be hitting from 2 directions at once. Now, Bunney does pull back a decent amount of his forces. 4 auto turrets up there in the front, actually getting a decent amount of damage done themselves. For units, pretty good, but both players losing a sizable amount of Marines. The big winner there, Bunney taking out 12 SCVs.
Yeah, and you could see in...
Or TY taking out 12 of Bunney's SCVs. Yeah. Wow, I just said that backwards. Okay.
It's all good. I like TY's position here. Bunney, he's kind of got his Marines in an awkward spot, and his army's kind of split up a little bit. TY with the air control right now with these Ravens, so he can begin the slow push and just keep everything out of the way.
Yeah, it turns out 5 Ravens versus 1 is not a fight.
5 Ravens versus 1.
5 Vikings. Vikings. I mean, he has almost 5. Well, I mean, 2 is not really almost 5, but it's close.
That it is, and there comes the push forward. Observer a little bit late on that one, but you can see exactly how TY is going to be able to pull this army apart.
Well, this is that yikes mode we're kicking into right now.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be pretty difficult to deal with.
Well, that's a pretty cute move coming in from behind with the drop. We'll see if that does work out. It doesn't really look like it, as TY is...
I mean, it looks like it to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it clears this up, but still not the easiest trade. I think it keeps him alive, but it's like, okay.
It actually keeps him TY. If it kept him alive, then he would be a different Terran player. More forces being rallied across the map there. I think TY actually might have more, actually you can see the exact number. Yeah, TY actually does have more Marines. He has 2 less tanks, but he's also up in medevacs too, and he's going to be using 2 of those medevacs to try to move through a sensor tower, most likely just drop and pick it off. Yeah, that's what he's going to be trying to do. He should be able to get it.
Yeah, it's going to open up some more lanes, always threaten that drop into the main, and some cute stuff like that.
Yep, 4th base coming out as well in the meantime for TY. Even though he was cleaned up there, he realizes that he should probably still have the bigger forces, and he is going to commit to this another double drop to take, this time not to take out the sensor tower. This one's going all the way into the main. Now he will be met by a big force there, already in place to stop that double drop.
That medevac is pretty low.
How low can you go, Brendan?
Well, not as low as that medevac, that's for sure. How low can you go, Rabbit? I mean, our money.
Pretty, not actually very low. I'm pretty tall, about 2 meters. So in general, that does not lend itself to extreme flexibility.
Yeah.
I was never one of those big, what do you call that, limbo players? That was not,
yeah, limbo.
That was not my sport. I instead went into esports after losing in the limbo championships. Did they even?
You got close. If you went to the championships, though, that's pretty good.
I mean, if I'm the only player in the championship, doesn't quite count. All right, well, TY with a massive army out there on the map, really just defending his expansion, but not defending enough against this double drop. And this is Bunney's opportunity to get in there, kill off some SCVs, but more importantly, he's going to get that orbital. Yeah,
really nice pick off here, and TY is going to use that this time to actually go for an attack, but I'm not sure if he can break this ramp. He's going to try to just stim up the ramp. That's not going to work, especially with tanks getting in position here.
Liberators, though, could be what even the score here. It's going to force an unsiege there. Bunney having to pick his tanks up and re-siege them further back. Still, I think Bunney does have the better Marine count there.
Yeah, it's pretty close at this point. Actually, TY sieging his tanks in a not good position. Able to stem forward now as Bunney take out 3 of them right away. And all of a sudden, I mean, this isn't looking so bad for Bunney. He's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, TY really being pushed back there. They're now on even bases with Bunney having taken out TY's 4th. That drop really got a lot of damage done.
He has to get out of here, though. He cannot fight that. Where is that medevac going?
The world may never know. These are what is that? Questions that inquiring minds want to know. Well, I'm not sure how optimistic we are at finding answers for those. The forces from Bunney still out there on the map could look to redrop that 4th location and keep that 4th base from coming down. In the meantime, TY grouping up, gearing up for another push here into what is a very well defended Bunney 4th Bunney base.
Yeah.
Should be coming up here in just a second. I mean, he knows that he needs to start it. The SCV is there waiting to build. See when he decides to go for that. I think at this point, Bunney's just like, oh my god, I did a thing. And now
I'm in this game, actually. I'm in a really good position. This is weird.
I gotta make sure that I have enough stuff. And so indeed he is going up to 3-3. Both Viz upgrades going on at the same time. TY just now starting.
Well, actually, that's opposite.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This is one of those problems where we have like the graphs for the players on opposite sides.
Yeah.
So TY's at the top, but Bunney's production graph is at the top, so throwing me off a little bit. Apologies there.
We've all been there.
TY with double upgrades on the way. Bunney with only one E. Yeah, that's all I got.
You had to finish that one off with a bang.
I was working on it, man. It just didn't work out there in the end. Yikes. All right, double scan scout out both players' armies. TY is pulling back off of that 4th or 5th base high ground and now retreating into a defense position there at the watchtower. Or not at the watchtower, the destructible rocks.
Yeah.
But man, this is looking awfully like a doom drop to me.
This is gigantic. That's basically everything that Bunney has. Looks like there's a small force back at home, but if he can skirt around.
Double sensor towers here. Now he knows he needs to go. And boosting on in. There's only 1 missile turret here. Siege tanks dropped off, sieging up. The doom drop in effect. How TY hang on?
Well, he's got to move his production out of the way here. Trying to get those Liberators in position, but look at all of these Marines out on the map. He's trying to stop the Droom drop with just tanks.
TY does not have enough back at home, and so instead he's going to stim forward and try to take out this third base. The command center is lifted, but even that will probably go down to these stim Marines. Now, I mean, in the base, though, TY just losing everything.
Yeah, TY losing a lot, but he's able to shut down the economy of Bunney pretty hard, whereas Bunney hasn't been able to do that just yet. If TY can get that production in a good spot and continue producing, he should be okay. Going for that eBay actually denies the level 3 armor here.
Oh my god.
So I feel like he's not in a bad position. Just Bunney saves his production, but he can't really produce much. He only has 1 mining base, whereas TY has 2. Finally, Bunney's coming over to here to the economy.
This is actually a really interesting position to find ourselves in.
TY's got to check that base on the left. Doesn't look very well defended here.
Yeah, TY just probably doesn't realize he was just there a few minutes ago and then retreated from that position.
Look at that tank and the 8 Marines. Yeah, that's not going to do much.
Yikes. All right, now dropping in on top of TY's tanks. This will clear up 3 tanks defending that natural. All 3 of them go down, sieging up on the high ground as well, and this is just such a good spot for Bunney.
He's able to get all those tanks up there, and I mean, TY does have the air advantage with 2 Vikings, but that's not that much. So he's got to move his production again.
So at this point, Bunney has more production, but TY has more mining. I just don't think that, you know, you can't kill your opponent with minerals. You got to build buildings to turn that mineral into stuff to kill your opponent with. And Bunney's just continuing to push forward, picking off bases, buildings, and just look at that. I mean, Bunney...
The supply depots are huge, too. Look at how many supply depots are up there if you can take them all out. Oh, TY's going for this. He's dropping in the back there, getting behind those tanks. He is going to clean this up entirely.
Oh, my God. TY! He's just getting pushed back further and further and further, and now, yikes, that's Bunney with an army deficit. Actually, let me check the army count. Yeah, TY 20 up, almost.
And it looks like he found that base. He scans it and sees that, hey, there's not much over there. If I could just surround that, then I'm going to be in a pretty good spot. So let's see if he actually does go for the attack. It looks like he's backing off now and just waiting to get that production up here, perhaps.
So TY getting his main and natural totally cleared out. So right now, like we saw earlier on that graph that came up, the income, much better for TY. Bunney, though, will actually be able to build a lot of stuff. And most of TY's buildings right now are actually kind of spread out across the map. This is such a difficult kind of game to judge. It's very rare. Sometimes you'll have double base trades, and sometimes you'll have like one player that goes for a base trade, which sort of means that either he succeeds at it or fails. In this case, he just got himself into an okay position, and we're still waiting to figure out exactly which player is ahead from the position that they're in.
Yeah, I think TY, as we said before, because of that economy that he had rolling and didn't really get shut down, was pretty good. You can see that Bunney is really hurting for minerals right now. He is getting that 1 base mining. Now trying to take a trade here in the middle of the map. TY able to micro out of the range of the tanks, and I think he does have the better upgrades here. Not 100% sure if Bunney did complete +3 weapons, but again, just trying to take this fight. It's not going to go well as he runs straight into the tanks. Bunney is able to hold this one off, coming on up, trying to snipe another tank. Looks like he did get that, and the medevac is actually now pushing up towards that high ground here. Oh man, he had to kill a reactor there on that barracks to get the tank out. That's...
Tanks are too fat, man. Gotta go on those tank diets.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a tank, that's kind of what you're supposed to be. This like big, hulking, massive metal. Turns out when you're stopped by reactors, it's not quite such a good thing. Now double drop coming in for TY. There are way too many SEVs there, so even if he does kill quite a few, I think that's probably just okay at this point. Finally, a 3rd base, or I guess this is what would be a 2nd mining base coming up for Bunney as he floats his main command center down there. Actually pushing TY back even further.
Oh, trying to take these trades is TY, but I think he's just got to get out there and make sure he's fighting with his entire army.
I mean, I think he realizes that he has more army, so any trades go automatically in his favor.
Especially with the upgrades, too.
Right.
We never really got a full, detailed look at that, but I'm pretty sure TY's had a whole set of upgrades. Now, really nice harass. Takes out the drop there from Bunney. able to kill 9 SCVs over at one of these mining bases for Bunney. Scan goes down and sees this, and he's like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah, that's a base doing stuff. Yikes! Gotta get myself one of those. And really, I'm not sure exactly where Bunney would go to do that. I mean, maybe down at the 6 o'clock position, but TY already positioned way out there towards the middle of the map, trying to take control. Big siege up there. Bunney winds up losing more than TY was. Just can't find a good trade at this point. I mean, I thought the production difference was, oh no, gotta pull those tanks back, stimming forward. TY.
Oh, it comes from 2 directions.
G and G. We actually saw the HH before that.
Yeah.
Bunney is out of there, and TY takes the game.
Well, hello to you too, sir. Up 1-0. Bunney, he put up a pretty good stance against TY. You know, as we said, one of the best TVTers in the world right now, and just one of the best players as well. So Bunney able to come in there and really challenge him in that game. I mean, he was behind for, I'd say, the majority of that, but he still went toe-to-toe in a macro game on a big map like Roland.
Yeah, and what a strange position to find yourself in. You go for the Doom Drop, it does a lot of damage, and so all of a sudden you're just like, well, you know, am I ahead? Am I not ahead?
Yeah.
There's this one Office quote, goes something like, I knew exactly what to do, but in a much more real sense, I had no idea what to do. So it's like, well, you know exactly what to do going in. It's like, all right, I'm going to take my stuff and kill his stuff, right? All right, got it. And then you do it, and you're like, okay,
what happens now? This has never happened before.
Did I do enough damage? Did I kill him? I'm not sure. Well, turns out damage was done, but TY just too good. He had more mining bases up. He was able to stay just that slight one step ahead of Bunney.
Stayed very calm too, which is, I mean, part of the reason why he's so good against crazy stuff like that. You gotta be super calm under all the pressure that you get in StarCraft.
Yeah.
For me, it's like a couple mutas fly in my base. I'm like, oh! Like,
yeah, if I
my
get
hair's on fire. Like I'm running around in circles in my room. It's like, oh God, what's going on?
Oh my God. Well, here we go into game number 2. Both players will have to sort of regroup themselves, get their mindsets back into a
Put all their parts together, you know. A couple of them fell off during the game. Too much micro.
I was watching Ghost in the Shell the other day, and every time Major just gets absolutely destroyed, they just have to rebuild her. It's like, no big deal. I'll just like rebuild my entire body. Well, that's what Bunney is going to have to do with him after getting turned into dust. Game number 1. That's all we are, man. Dust in the wind. Here we go. Game number 2. Coming your way, TY. Red Terran, upper left, upper... Hey, I got it right that time. I was like, no, I better second guess myself. Upper left corner. That's TY.
Did you guys actually see the commercial with Kanata banging on the drum?
I did.
I really don't know what's going on with that, but I would love to see. Down here on the bottom right is Bunney, of course. Dust Gaming. All that good stuff. But anyway, back to the drum.
Yeah, this is what's really important right now. No, I saw Kanata carrying around that toy drum earlier, and I was like, okay, well, what is this for? What possible StarCraft-related purpose could this serve? I don't know, man.
It's like the teaser to some show where actually all the casters are getting together and making a band.
I cannot.
Kanata's the drummer next. Like,
did you ever?
Dagon's gonna come out with a guitar. Like, hey guys, I'm the bassist for this band.
Bassist. Did you ever play an instrument growing up, Valdez?
Yeah, I played the piano for like 15 years.
I too played the piano. We could play 2v2s. Or
what?
Wow, I am a giant nerd, guys. I meant we could play duets.
Yeah, let's play some 2v2s. But, you know, there are some songs designed for 2 people. I'm sure you know.
I've played quite a few of those.
And we could do those. Maybe we could 1v1 some other, you know, dual pianists.
Or 2v2 them. See, that's where it comes in. There we go.
Well, it's like we're the team. We're like one team. But I guess it's still a 2v2. You're correct.
We would be using the power of friendship to overcome all odds. Well, no one's going to be TY or Bunney's friend for this game. Certainly not their opponent. They're both merciless nerds trying to kill each other. We'll find out if Bunney can come back. TY, looked a little bit off. I mean, anytime you get your base horribly doom dropped like that, you got to know, well, maybe you should have seen that one coming. He actually had sensor towers up watching it happen, just unable to react in time, but did stabilize immediately following that and wind up winning game number 1.
Yeah, he kept extremely calm. He's like, no, I mean, I can eventually hold this, and I can do a lot of damage on the other side. He's like, oh, my Marines aren't in position to actually defend, so I'll just go attack, because he saw how massive of a drop it was. That was like 9 medevacs flying into the main, so
All right, well, here's where we're going to see the builds differentiate. It's going to be exactly the same up until now, but earlier, Starport coming out there for TY. On the other side, Bunney going for Hellion instead of, or for Cyclone instead of Hellion. Wow, what is that unit called? Yeah, for Cyclone instead of Hellion, so he'll be playing a little bit more defensive, trying to limit the effectiveness of this Reaper running right into Marines. It gets taken out. Good defense.
Yeah, so we said before, you guys can tweet at us, and actually Tenchi just tweeted at me 10 seconds ago saying, don't challenge Brendan Valdez to a duet, Rapid. His voice is golden. We did go to a karaoke bar, or I guess it wasn't, it was just a karaoke place.
Noraebang.
Yeah, that's what it is in Korean, but it was fun. It was fun.
I've had my Noraebang experience. Did not go well.
Why?
Turns out my ability to sing Korean songs is highly limited.
What about Japanese songs?
If I were ever to try out for a band like Girls' Day, I figure I would probably be rejected.
Yeah. Are you one of the anime nerds that like knows all the Japanese words, lyrics to like the openings of different animes?
Well, most anime openings are just like heavy guitar solos.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But they have some words in
I'm
there.
not quite that hardcore.
Okay. I know some guys like that. Won't name any names. I mean, if you're into that, it's fine. It's cool. But.
It's okay. We'll never out Wolf for being there.
Oh, oops.
Yikes. All right. Back to Abyssal Reef. B-Dragon. Oh my god.
I think the only anime I watched was Death Note. I watched a bunch of episodes of Naruto, too. My cousin was trying to get me to watch, what's that anime where they're on the ship and they're like traveling around and stuff? Do you know what's... You weren't listening to me.
No, I wasn't.
This is what happens when you read Twitter while you cast.
I was going to say, I was reading a much more interesting tweet that says, if you play piano against each other, isn't that considered a PvP?
Wow.
Like, yes, in fact, it is.
Yeah, you know, I guess it is.
I guess
PvP.
If one person's playing like a xylophone, that's a ZV. Well, yeah. That starts with X, not
wow.
Z.
And you got me, too. I thought you only...
Actually, for instruments that start with Z, there's actually an instrument called a zither.
A zither.
Yeah, I can't actually remember what it is at this point, but I'm fairly confident that it exists. So that would be the Z in our
and the T is trumpet, a trombone.
Yeah, lots more T instruments there. It's gonna work pretty hard to find a Z. I think so.
Timberlake.
That's not a...
He's a singer.
Oh yeah, that's not an instrument though. I mean, well, his vocal cords are instruments.
Yeah.
All right. Medevac gets taken down finally as TY pushing across the map with a very, very strong force. I mean, triple Cyclones there to defend should be a good way to keep TY's forces at bay, forcing him to siege up there in the middle.
Yeah, wants to buy as much time as possible. Obviously, the reinforcement range here is a little bit shorter for Bunney, so he can get those units together a little bit faster. The Vikings, though, the air control that TY has always been focusing on is going to allow him to start sieging this base here.
Does that tank die when those rocks fall? I think it's a little bit far forward there. We'll find out. That kills the tank.
Well,
it's
not a rock tower. It's just rocks.
Sorry.
So it opens up the ramp.
It does indeed do that.
It's okay.
Yikes.
We're in the yikes zone now,
so many yikes moments tonight, guys. That's just that phrase that you say when something just goes terribly wrong.
There's nothing else you can say.
There's very little, in fact, that I could say there.
Yeah, it's okay.
But going back to the aforementioned air control, it's currently 6 Vikings to 1. It's a pretty good advantage. And now coming in for a flank here, this is what Bunney is going to use to try to break through this sieged up position.
Master. He's been doing this all night.
Oh wow, that's not the whole position you want right there. Quite a few Marines getting taken out by a siege from behind. Bunney doing a decent job at breaking this. Now he still has to really just get in there, and here we go. Forces coming down the ramp.
Yeah, he's coming from 2 sides here. A little bit late on the one up north, but eventually does come down here, and he will be able to push on in. But the landed Vikings actually are going to be enough to hold the position of 2 of those tanks, and he's still shelling that base.
I mean, for reference, the most recent change, or patch notes, changed landed Vikings to have plus armor damage. So those were actually able to contribute very heavily to taking out the 2 Cyclones that Bunney sent in to try to clean out the TY's tanks. So now not only does he have the tank advantage, he's got the air advantage with those Cyclones, and he continues to have units reinforcing from across the map. So, wow, this is...
It's so annoying to have to micromanage those SCVs that keep getting shelled. And you can see that Bunney's actually not doing too good of a job of that as well. 6 SCVs, here's another 2. Sacrifices to the tank gods, that's 8.
SCVs are not incredibly intelligent. When they're looking for SCV workers to put it in those big metal frames, they don't just like, send me the Einsteins of our world. No, man, those are, I know that sometimes I think fire bats are convicted criminals. Or maybe that was Marines. They get locked inside their suits.
I think it's Reapers, right?
Reapers, there we go. All right. I wonder how many of them are just like, the scientists. Maybe those are what science vessels are piloted by.
Could be.
Okay, well, this dropped not long
game.
for the world. Yeah, there you go. I'm dating myself. Well, not anymore, because it's coming back.
True.
Landed Viking harass, that is how
that
far.
new age stuff, man. He's on that new.
Yeah, that's definitely the new. Or is it the Willump? Sorry, wrong game. All right, back to the matter at hand. Finally, Bunney trying to stim out there, and we'll finally clear out TY's push, but so much value taken. Already a 30 supply advantage here for TY. Looks like he's going to be pushing out with yet another very strong force.
Well, he was thinking about it. You could see a good advantage in Marines, but also in the Viking count, as we saw before, is pretty nice for TY. Already about 30 supply ahead here at just 9.5 minutes in. So definitely garnered himself a nice lead. He's going to get even more if he could chop down those medevacs. Turns out that he could not. Good reaction there by Bunney.
Yeah, it turns out TY is not playing the single player. If he was playing Swan right now, all of his mech units could have the boost ability. Unfortunately, only medevacs have that right now, so they were able to boost themselves away to safety. I'm just digging the guitars right now.
Yeah, liking those riffs.
I am. Every once in a while, Brendan will be like humming a guitar riff before our broadcast, and it just gets stuck in my head instantly. So now instead of thinking about what I'm supposed to be commentating, I'm just like... Not very productive, I can tell you that much.
It's okay. I'll bring my electric guitar next time.
All right,
things even more exciting.
A little bit of miscontrol there by Bunney, and now with Liberator sieging up, it's going to force another unsiege. Bunney forced back yet again.
Yeah. I call this one Wonderwall. Going to give you guys a little playthrough. Like the position here for TY. Love that addition of the 1 Liberator. Well, caster curse as I say that. Good maneuver there by Bunney to get close enough to take that out. TY being a little bit overzealous. Although he does play turn.
I was going to say, yeah.
Sorry, just had to throw that one in there.
Nice.
Couldn't just leave that one hanging.
A little bit of an update from Twitter. A zither is a stringed instrument. The word comes from a sithara, from which the word guitar also derives. Thanks to Philippe Paré for letting us know about that. This is just such an educational stream. If your parents are trying to tell you can't play StarCraft because you won't learn anything, well, send them this VOD. They are wrong. You can learn so much from StarCraft, as well as the informational tweets that are sent our way. So keep those coming, guys.
Ooh, look at this.
Big fan of that.
Oh, the drops onto that tank. He's forced to unsiege everything.
Oh my God.
And TY has a massive block of Marines actually coming from the north right now. Tries to take this fight here. The Marines are actually a little bit late, so TY will choose not to take the fight.
TY, yeah, actually getting that position broken fairly well. Bunney with a great
like taking every
break
base
of that
now.
contain. Yeah, he's actually just like, well, I could build a command center here and here and here. Well, actually,
there's a base there, and there's a base there, and
oh,
there's another one over there.
And you get a base. Now with a triple drop there into the third, Bunney will have to pull everything back. Now, he should have the forces that he needs to get through there, but man, TY Marines are just stronger than any other Marine.
Looks like it in this game. TY coming in here, and I'm actually surprised that because it's TY, he's not attacking somewhere else, but it looks like he just wants to build up for the big attack here.
Well, I guess what he's doing is pulling Bunney's army all the way back to his base while 2 bases of his come up and underway. Triple drop is a pretty decent investment, so wanted to make sure he didn't lose everything. But now here is that push you were talking about coming up front. Got a couple of Liberators as well as way more Marines and tanks than Bunney has in defense position. That's when you siege your tanks sideways.
Yeah. Like the idea. And the Liberator slow push comes in. Just a block of tanks there, but not much to defend them. Okay, there's one Viking coming over. He's like, I'm here to do the job. And uh-oh.
Oh no, Bunney sieging his tanks right as the Marines get right on top of them. This SCV is sent out as sacrifices there to just keep these tanks alive. And they do their job successfully, but now, let's see what Bunney's triple drop can get done on the other end.
It looks like they're gonna come in here and divert some of these forces to come back. Actually loses a medevac, but has an extra one.
Siege continues there at the opening to Bunney's base. More forces there back in TY's. TY both has more forces in Bunney's base and
he just
in
killed his
own
own tech lab by accident. Just want to point that out. GG. TY takes the 2-0.
Sickest BM there at the end. And in fact, all is right with the world. The predictions hold true, and TY takes a 2-0 win against Bunney.
Yeah, kind of what I was expecting. That first game was more exciting than I expected.
Yeah, definitely really interesting to see the advanced sort of thought processes. So when we need another one of those like reverse brain memes where it's just like going for a doom drop, defending the doom drop, and then like, you know, knowing what to do afterwards. Because it definitely does take a lot of practice going through a bunch of those sort of weird, wacky positions to say, hey, you know, even though this is very uncommon, I know what to do here. I've been there before. This is like in the end of Jurassic Park, where they have to re-hack the systems to open up the doors, and they're like, "This is a Unix system. I know this."
Yeah.
Possibly the worst line in any movie ever, by the way, guys.
Well, I mean, you don't want to bring r/prequel memes out here, but like, God, there were some of the worst lines I've ever heard in the prequels of Star Wars.
Oh my
of course.
God, it hurts so much. But not as bad as losing 2-0 to TY. That would hurt pretty badly, guys. And that means that I don't think we have... Yeah, we do have one more commercial break coming up here.
Just another short mini one, like a little baby commercial break.
I'll see if I can
No babies, though. Only Bjorn, who just walked by, actually. So, guys, we're going to take that 1 minute and 30-second break. We'll be right back.